Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my second review in my three-part marathon of Wife Swap. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? Having one, it just would be nice. 'Cause everybody needs a sweet old auntie, right? So welcome, so welcome, so welcome to Auntie's Advice. And to all of my subscribers who have been here with me for the long haul, who I affectionately call my nieces and nephews, thank you so much for your continued support. So this is round two. And this review is on the Degarmo Mosby family. This was interesting because this kind of hit in the backyard. You understand what I'm saying? And when I say the backyard, I mean the backyard. So we have the Degarmo family, the mom and the dad of the family. Let me get their names down here. Is Kelly and John, okay? Kelly and John have a whole bunch of kids. They have their college age kids who are theirs, and they have adopted three little mixed children. They are very nice. They're a nice family from the outside, but they want to live as pilgrims. Okay? They have no access to the outside world. They have no Wi-Fi in their house, none of that. Do you hear what I mean? I'm talking about nothing. They don't have televisions or anything like that in their household that they use. Their children basically play in mud and they do hunts and things like that. They have this little um playhouse, if you will, out in the woods of their home, and that's where they play. They play games that we used to play back in the 60s when we were little kids, and things were golly, John, come on now. They're college age students. When they're all away from the home, of course they're on the Wi-Fi. They're on Facebook. They're on, all of those things that regular kids are on. But this family doesn't believe in that. Their children go to school and they mingle and play with other children and interact with other children at the school. But they don't know what the hell is going on. They don't know the latest TV shows. They don't know um, anything about anything. And it's very interesting. She is, I believe, a psychologist, and he has a job, and they both have jobs, but they believe that when they get home, that everything should shut down and it's family time. And I don't see anything wrong with that, except for there has to be a balance. Um, that was one of the things that I wrestled with when I was raising my daughter, was having a balance. As it related to television and technology, being a watchful parent and watching over the internet sites that she went on, because when she was coming up in that age. And so I had to be mindful about the MTVs and, the videos, because back then MTV was the big thing, and Nickelodeon and Disney Channel and all of those things were coming up. And so I needed to strike a good balance between her having a sense of reality and a sense of television. I remember one time when she got that, that ass out of control, and I, had to simply sit her down and let her know, hey, you ain't Miley Cyrus, boo. Miley Cyrus is an actress. You understand what I'm saying? Because she was acting the fool on her television show at that time, and I was like, this ain't Disney Channel up in this camp. Like it ain't. So they basically, play little healthy games, and they sit around the table and they play cards and all of that, and they have no Wi-Fi in the household. So they have no contact with the outside world. Okay. And then we have the Mosby family. Her name is China, and her husband's name is Christoph, and she's a YouTuber. She has a YouTube channel. She on and she has, I think, over 100 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, and she does fitness and makeup, and she lives her whole entire life on YouTube. Both her and her husband. She says that she's created an empire. And this is what she does. She has two little children. She has a little infant. I guess he's probably about 1 or 2, between the age of 1 and 2. And then she has a little 9-year-old daughter who has her own YouTube channel. And they walk around with cameras on all day long. They film from the rising of the sun to the going down of the same on YouTube. So, of course, you see that we have two extreme differences in how people are raising their families. Now, I'm a YouTuber. Absolutely love YouTubing and creating a family on YouTube. But what you won't see is how I scratch my butt in the morning, and you won't see how I scratch it in the evening. And I have never had my daughter on social media. I've never had her on my YouTube channel, and I don't plan on doing it because you have to learn that you can't put everything on social media. Everything in your life is not for consumption by the public. This girl gets up in the morning and everything she does is on YouTube. So anyway, they swap lives. And Lord, is it a culture shock for both of them. Mosley lives in, is that her? Mosby, China, lives in a household of a very modern household. You know, the fireplace, the 3 levels in the 2 levels in the basement, fine, finest things in life. And the other family is just content with having a sofa and, things for the kids to do. And so they swap lives, and their households are totally different. And she goes back into time, like back into the 50s and the 60s with this family. When she meets the family and the kids and everything, she sees that there are 3 little girls who are African American, and they are the adopted children. And these people have raised, I believe, over 50 children in their lifetime. These 50 children have been in and out of their home. This is the Degarmos. And so they, believe that they have raised healthy children. And I believe that they probably have. And I believe that they believe that all of those children have been healthy. But I think that, healthy means that you have a healthy balance of a little bit of everything. And so, when China goes in, she's when she was packing to leave, she was like, I don't know if I need to pack a cocktail dress or a party dress. She just didn't have any idea that she was needed to pack an apron and a bonnet and some wood sticks, an old fashioned compass and some boots that came up to her knees. Like she had no idea that she was going to be walking into a household where she was going to instantly be moved back, thrown back, transported back in time. But daggone it, when she found out, she was devastated. Okay, as I would have been. Like, at least let me look at a little bit of TV. Let me stream something. I mean, can I Netflix and chill up in this mofo? But she wasn't able to do any of that. And she couldn't have on her camera. The children told her that they wanted to go outside, and they wanted to make believe, and they went outside, and she went with them, and they made little mud pies and all of that kind of stuff, and they were going in and out of this little toy, this little cabin back in the woods, and she was, pinning the tail on the donkey and just doing all those things that would have made me uncomfortable too, because I'm not an outdoorsy, woodsy type of girl, and I definitely can't relate to being a pilgrim and working without running water and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to keep it okay. She was devastated. And I must say I was too. I was a little shaken up. But the kids were so happy. They were so happy and content with what their lives were. And I thought that that was the beauty of it. But the older kids weren't. The older kids wanted to have the Wi-Fi and all of that kind of stuff. In the meantime and in between time, we see Shelly in Mosley's life. Her husband gets up in the morning and this woman is brushing his teeth and this mofo is filming it. If you don't get that camera out my face, bitch, you better. Who wants a camera in their face 24 hours? Like this, man, this woman couldn't eat. She couldn't brush her teeth. She couldn't do anything without this man having a camera in her face. And the same thing with the daughter. The daughter had this, little braids in her hair, with the little cotton candy colors and stuff like that. And she had her glasses on, and, she was like a little Girl Scout and all of that kind of stuff. But everything they did, they filmed it. And she has an exercise. China has an exercise channel on YouTube, and I guess her name is China Mosby on YouTube. And she has like these clothes. She does like hauls and try-ons and stuff. And this man made her try on a body shaper with the butt out. It was supposed to be a butt lifter. And he's filming her, and she is so embarrassed. Like, this is a woman who has never been on social media. They believe they're keeping their children safe, and their identity safe from social media is the way to go. And I mean, although seems a little weird to me, if this is what she believes, this is what she believes. Like, really, he totally embarrassed this woman and made her try on this stuff, and he filmed her doing it. And this woman's butt cheeks were out, but you know what, she went along with the plan. She really did get in there and do something that I wouldn't have did, because you're not gonna have me putting on no shaper on YouTube unless that's something I want to do and something I'm comfortable with doing. But she went along with it. She watched and she observed the family on their phones, on their laptops. The little girl was coloring on her laptop, and she was like, if she's creative and this is what she wants to do, she should be doing this to canvas. She should be doing this on paper. This little girl really doesn't have a life outside of YouTube and a camera in her face. And even your auntie, as old as I am, I take a break away from the camera. You have to. You cannot live your whole life on social media. I shut down my Instagram page, and for some people, they freaking died. This is not my whole life. This is, oh my God, this is such a small part of my life and who I am and what we do. But this is her whole life. This is how they make their income. I don't even know what her husband does for a living. Anyway, so it's time for them now to switch over to living another life. Okay? The wives now are able to put their own rules in place. And the Degarmo mom, Kelly, snatched that yellow cord about the wall. all the Wi-Fi, the television, everything is connected to that yellow cord, and the husband almost died. She told him to put that mofo camera down and spend time with his family, and he damn near died. He is so connected to the out to living this fantasy life in front of people on YouTube that to spend 1 hour a day having time with his daughter killed him. And in the Degarmo family, when China was China's time, she pulled that camera out. And she put those people's children on YouTube. She got all of the kids' YouTube channel. She connected Wi-Fi in their house. The father didn't like it. He was ready to kirk out. Because see, for him, it wasn't. I see, and I understood him because for him, it was a safety thing. And for the other father, he didn't think about safety. He said, we can go out. Kelly asked him the question. Okay, Christoph. She asked him the question. She said, "Do is it any way where an adult can be on your child, be watching your child?" And he's like, "No, there isn't." She said, "So are you implying that a 45-year-old man with who's just a perv? Okay, let's just keep it all the way 100." Could go out there and make a profile and pretend that he is a 10-year-old little girl. And he's like, yeah, but you can't protect him about that. He wasn't concerned about the safety of his daughter out there on the YT with her face, her bedroom, how her bedroom looks, her windows, everything. Like you gotta keep some things private, but it wasn't a concern to him because he kept using the excuse that you can go outside and you could get ran over by a car, you could get hit or whatever. But what you want to do is you want to try to reduce your level of you want to try to. He had no concern about the daughter's safety. He did not see her point, and I did. I did. And I am not knocking YouTubers who go out here and put their children on display for the whole world to see. If that's what you want to do, if that's your hustle and that's your game out here on YouTube, you do what you do. But as for me and my household, I don't want my daughter on there on the screen. And she wants to maintain her privacy. And you know what? That's fair. Some of these young kids, they don't have a choice. Their parents don't give them choices in whether or not their faces are on YouTube or actors or actresses or whatever. They don't have um, a opportunity to oppose it. They just are. And this little girl sat there and talked to the Degarmo mother. And, okay, I'm moving ahead of time. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm attacking parents who do it because that's not what I'm doing. I'm talking about this family as it relates to YouTube and social media and how this father saw nothing wrong with what he was doing with his daughter. That's on you, boo. That's on you. But when your wife decided that she would take a camera into their home and she decided that she would put those children on YouTube, I thought that it was a violation of their privacy. See, yes, they are on television. They are on television. But YouTube and Instagram and social media platforms and stuff like that are a whole different ball game than being on television for one show. It is. The attacks that you get on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook from people who are sitting on the other side of those keyboards being bullies is totally different from being on a television show. it there are some people out there that will say things and do things that are unimaginable, things that they would never do if they had to cross your path every day. And then you're putting out people's children, and you don't know what kind of creep or perv is on the other end talking to your child as if they are a 9 or 10-year-old little girl who's interested in the same Barbie dolls that you play with. And at the same time, they're on the other side, 50 and 60 years old, be it man or woman, preying, preying on your child. So I thought that she was wrong in doing that. I thought that was a huge violation. And then, you know, when Kelly Degarmo kind of changed the script, when it was her time, she concentrated on the family spending time together and putting the laptop. So she had a painting session where the little girl, she gave her some paint and a canvas, and she just let her paint. And her dad participated, but he complained and cried and moaned and groaned the whole entire time. The whole time. They way back, Kelly and the daughter, they lay back on the grass and they looked up and they just looked at clouds and said, and they imagined what it could be. And that little baby, seeing his sister doing this, wanted to do it too, and the father wouldn't even let him fall back on the grass. That grass ain't gonna kill him. It's not gonna kill him. Just to allow a child to be a child, to live their life carefree, wasn't gonna kill either one of his children. And then they sat down and she brought a little, Kelly brought a little tent for her, and they sat down in the living room and they pitched a little tent, and they began to just tell stories, and no social media, no camera, nothing. Just pitched a tent and told little horror stories and had s'mores. And oh, the gratitude of that little girl. She was elated to just be able to spend time listening to her dad tell horror stories, be they fake or true. She was just happy to spend the time. And when Kelly sat down with the little girl in her room on the last day of the wife swap, and she said to her, "I know you glad your mother coming back." The little girl was like, "No, I'm not glad my mother's coming back. I don't miss her and I like you better." Broke Kelly's heart, and frankly broke me and my daughters. This little girl just wants to live a life where she's not being judged by what she has. She's not being judged by people on YouTube. She's not having to pretend. She's not having to get, makeup on or put pretty clothes on and all of that kind of stuff. She just wanted to be a little girl. She wanted to be a little girl. And in the meantime, over at the Degarmo family, China, she recognized that there were 3 little girls in the household who were African American children. Okay, I guess they mixed, but they more African American. They had the African American hair. And she looked at the way that the girls' hair was, and she began to teach them, because she has a channel where she does makeup and stuff like that and beauty. And she helped the little girls by washing their hair and doing their hair. And a lot of times when families adopt children from other ethnicities and other races, they don't know about their hair. And one of the struggles with the African American little girls is that they didn't know how to care for their hair. One of the little girls, when she was doing her hair, the oldest one, she was doing her hair. She had washed it, and it curled up, because we have curly hair, naturally curly hair. And her little hair curled up and everything. And she said, "Well, I'm gonna pull your baby hair down, so y'all know what the baby hair thing is, okay? That game is real, okay?" And she pulled her baby hair out. She said, I don't like baby hair. She said, it's just because you don't know how to do it. And there are a lot of African American girls and women who don't know how to care for their hair and to do the right thing. And when the little girl, when she did it and she showed her how beautiful she was, all three of them, and how their hair could look, they were so happy and the smiles that were on their faces. So China did contribute to their household. She told the father, she said, you know what, YouTube isn't the devil all the time. And there are different channels and stuff like that that you can watch and really learn something from it. And she said, and if you connect to YouTube, you can watch me and watch other content creators who do here and teach you how to take care of your 4C hair or your 3A. And I thought that that was just absolutely wonderful for China to be able to contribute to the household in that way. To just let them know that that there are good sides of social media and there are good sides of YouTube. It ain't all negative. And she was able to prove that to them. And so anyway, at the end of the day, both of the wives contribute to the household. They were able to bring something to the table. As different as they are, because you know what, sometimes our differences is what makes us the same. It's those little small things that you may be able to contribute to someone else's life to build their lives up. It's when we start tearing each other down and using our social media platforms in a negative way that, and I have been guilty of using my social media platform to not be positive sometimes. But you know what? Those are the things that you learn over a time period. But anyway, I digress. And so, the families came together and, they began to talk about the things that they were able to share and how they felt in the family. And it was sad to see China's face when Kelly told her about what her daughter said. And she realized that I just need to allow my daughter to be a child and to not spend so much time doing this social media thing and having mommy and daughter time with my daughter and just letting her be a little girl. And then the other family realized that there are things from social media that they can take and they would like to know how to do those little African American girls' hair. And they, that they do need to be informed about different things that happen in the world. But as soon as they got back at home, they pitched their tents and they cut all the Wi-Fi back off. It was interesting because the adult children were happy that the Wi-Fi was back on the hot and back was on in the house while China was there. But you could see that the whole family separated. They all were in their different corners of the house on social media. So there is something to it. You know what I mean? But again, like I said, we have to learn how to strike a balance in all of this stuff, you know? It's when you out here day after day, hour after hour on social media. You're always checking your accounts and everything you do. You Snapchatting it and that's like like who does that? Who does that? The younger generation. This is what they've grown up with, and I think that just with a little bit of communication and understanding that anybody can learn when too much is too much of one thing. But with the Mosley family, when they went back home, she decided that she was going to spend more time with her daughter. But I noticed that the daughter's channel was still up. She's still doing videos. I don't know if she's doing them as much as she was doing them, but the little girl is still doing videos and still feeling judged. The little girl says she doesn't want to feel judged. Can you imagine that? Being 9, 10 years old and feeling judged? But you are judged. You're judged every time you look in your comment section and someone says something negative. I was talking to one of my subscribers the other day who was going through something, and she said, "You know, Auntie, you could have 10 people who comment on your video and say, 'Auntie, you look nice today. Auntie, you're wonderful. Auntie, you helped me.' And then you can have that one negative comment, and they say, 'You know what, Auntie, you are NGIO, you know what I'm saying, and you fat and you nasty and you and that's the one that will affect you. You get on, you see people who have nothing more to do than to subscribe to your channel, wait till you get on there and then hit the thumbs down, and you think about how miserable their lives have got to be when you just want to spread that hate by hitting that thumbs down. And so, that particular person is miserable as dog out on the street. They're the type of person that will have stink on their shoes and walk around with it just to think that they spiting someone else, drinking poison and hoping that I die from it. Like, who does that? Like, as soon as you post a video, they come out there and hit the thumbs down. But then you got the people who follow you who won't hit the thumbs up and enjoy your content and wait to hear your content, but won't thumb it up. Social media can be a beast. It really can be a beast. But it takes everybody to make the world go round, even the haters. Because your haters sometimes turn out to be your biggest motivators. Because every time you thumbs down my video, as soon as I put it out, it lets me know I'm on your mind. I'm on your mind. You subscribe just to hate on me. You can go ahead and hate on me now or later. Hey. Because I'm living my life like it's golden. 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 Golden. Okay, but this ain't about me. But anyway. So the families were able to, take something from one another. And I thought it was a really good episode. So thank you all so much for being here and for looking at this review on Wife Swaps Season 1, Episode 3, the Degarmos and the Mosley. And Chachana Mosley, I'm hoping that you and your daughter are living your best life, and that you are taking time out to spend time with one another, and that you be a wonderful mom like you are, because you seem like you're a wonderful mom. Continue to do your thing, boo. But, and to the Degarmo family, I'm hoping that you all were able to pull something from her as it relates to, the rearing and the steering of your children. This was a really good episode. It was very interesting. But the next one, y'all, it's going to be rough to do. But anyway, I love you all to pieces. Have a great Saturday. And I'll be back with my next video. Love you.